brand new Starbucks in an unusual location. It feels really nice in there. I actually came in yesterday to get a pumpkin spice latte, almond milk, no whip, and decaf. Every once in a while, like once every 3 weeks or whatever, I try to have one. Unless I have a gift card, then I'll come more often. But I wanted to try this one out. I got a free pastry today because my points finally added up yesterday to get a free pastry. So I got a little pumpkin loaf, but yesterday was perfect. Everything was great. When I showed up here to get the latte, of course, it was the first time I had ever shown up to this location. It's brand new. They're still working on stuff in there, here and there. But already, here today, I already know they're loaded up with a certain type of staff today. We have someone who has a name tag. She appears to be the barista, and she was prepping by bringing out the damp towels and the cleaning solution that they keep by the steamers in the espresso machine. And her name is Cameron, C-A-M-R-Y-N. So I already know somebody's up to something here, because that name, I believe, I'm pretty certain, is also the name of someone who's technically related through marriage in a step-family situation. And it's like, oops, let me wipe that teardrop there. And it's like, I can't believe they have a Cameron. So wherever I go, people will show up with name tags. There was my last name is Cole. There was a Cole in Gainesville, Florida, someone who was going to go trans. If you saw me today, you wouldn't recognize me. I have really long hair, and I don't look like maybe an image you might find online should you look me up. So Sharon Cole of Philadelphia, that's maybe that, you know, something will pop up. It's hard to tell. It depends on where you are and so forth and so on. I don't know how all that stuff works. And the guy, now she was the barista, the Cameron girl. I think of Anne Rand or Anne Rind or whatever her name was. She's a famous, technically was she a right-wing writer? Controversial writer from eons ago. This is back in history. Anne Rand, but it's R-Y-N-D. And it's a thing where you're not sure how to pronounce, you know. I've heard Anne Rand, he has this, you know, his dog trained heavily there, so he's practicing with treat reinforcement and kibble. And that looks like an Irish setter or a very dark red golden retriever, but more than likely it's an Irish setter. So also the guy who was working the register, his name appears to be Blast, B-L-A-S-T. So this happens, I guess, in Philly all the time, but wherever I go now, I don't know. Now the thing is, whomever's name is Cameron, I don't really know this person personally, only at best through step siblings who I sort of pulled away from a little bit because I found that I functioned better if my brain weren't messed up a certain way. It's hard to explain. Everybody has dynamics and they have to, you know, overcome them or escape certain dynamics. It's hard to see your dad enjoying life with other people, so that's enough for people to be upset. And there's more to that. There's all kinds of control dynamics at play, so whatever. But point being, there's somewhere out there, there's a Cameron. Now, I won't really think about this. Everybody has their own lives, but I'm wondering why someone shows up on staff for the early shift on a Saturday, Blast and Cameron. So to Cameron have a blast, I'm like, or is it more, I would work, my first thought actually was to worry, just in general. Blast is usually equated to, there's two things, either explosions, and we have a building here that looks like the windows blew out, but they're renovating this whole building. But I thought if they ever have riots again, they could, you know, they could use this to make it seem like a blowout occurred at this building. Do you see what I mean? So that sometimes there are fake orchestrated situations, or situations that, you know, we might get images from the Middle East and there was a building already totally wrecked, but it looks like it was bombed. You know what I mean? So you have to remember stuff like that. I don't know what to believe. No one knows unless they're actually present and witnessed something. So unless there are higher level people who can see in here a certain way, but even still, you question. You know, seeing in person is better. So anyway, but also it's a Saturday morning, so the insinuation or innuendo would be, and I never talked to this person who happens to have this name, but the insinuation would be that either she had a blast or something's wrong wherever she lives, works, goes to school, whatever. And would people worry about that, you know? So anyway, also, that's right. Now, you know, appearance wise, the barista doesn't really look like, the barista looks like someone, you know, totally different than anyone in my family or even a step family situation. But the blast guy could resemble a closer relative. It's just a certain look or what have you. Go this way? Go this way. So, good morning. Okay. Keep going. Are we gonna run into Asian school with a really tall guy in the middle? Sorry. I'm only saying that because I'm like, are these people younger? These people seem younger except for one. Oh wait, no, the tall guy is right. He gets to be the token quote-unquote basketball player of the group. We have a lot of short people and one tall person. So the idea would be, now we're on to something else, but it's playing into gang stalking. Even though these people seem harmless, like in general they seem harmless. But what happens in a community when you have a tall person, metaphorically, controlling a lot of shorter people, metaphorically. So, we go this way. We want to know why he gets to be the boss, right? Who's the boss, right? So, go this way. Go this way. So there's a special group. Are they from Cozen O'Connor, like the immigration? There's an immigration law firm down here, so, or they have a special group. Maybe they're staying at Sonesta and going to the like special, you know, mock United Nations debates. That's how they look. Every once in a while they have mock United Nations debate things like at convention centers, and they meet up in different cities. We have a Boy Scout guy in the group who so, but these people are a little bit taller. Everyone's a little bit equal except for a short person here and there. Oh, we have Idaho Attorney General in here looking like, I just saw a big drug sting in Idaho, and one of the guys carrying the boxes, looked like that guy, and he was the head like Attorney General, or I forget his position. So, but he deals with drugs, drug takedowns, cartels and stuff like that apparently. I just saw that this morning. So Idaho has connections, and of course there's Idaho 4 with those 4 ladies who were killed by supposedly Brian Koberger at, get this, 1122 King or Queen Street. That's enough for me to know that they're on a pattern, or that they were on a pattern, because 1122-63 was when JFK was assassinated. So when it, you know, maybe if you buy a house, try not to get 1122 unless things are going well and you think you're supposed to, but I would say probably not at this point in time. So don't do 1122. Anything major in history, try to avoid those numbers, especially if they're negative in nature. So anyway, so often in communities, you know, one person gets to feel like the boss, and people who are taller physically, like actually physically, naturally